Hello everyone, this is Cheryl with Adventures of C&C.
James, can you share with us about how many hiking trails there are on the island?
We have 23 different hiking trails on Saba.
Wow.
It's just a small island. We have all those trails. We have 5 square miles, 877 meters high. You can hike from the rainforest, cloud forest on the top of the mountain scenery and hike all the way down to the area that above the coastline with cactus growing and actually in rocks. We have 5 different ecosystems.
Taking my chances along with my dreams.
Yes, mostly right now I see more hikers on the island than divers.
Wow, that's cool. I tell you, it's a great place to hike because I may not be in the best shape in my life, but walking these hills and hiking has got me in great shape onto this trip.
Sure do. And I always say about Saba as one of the quietest and safest places in the world to be.
Yes, yes,
and the nature is very special here.
It is. So visit and hike Saba.
Yes.
Here I am in Mary's Point, the first settlement in Saba. So follow us for a tour of where people settled when they first came to Saba. Don't forget, if you like this video, to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you will not miss these videos.
All right, guys, are you all ready for your hike to Mary's Point?
Yes, we are ready.
Only with a guy. That is good advice. So this is James. I'm introducing you to James, but I'm gonna let him tell you his story. James, how long have you been hiking?
I've been hiking since I was 14 years old, and the 24th of August I'll be 72.
Wow.
So that's quite a long time. And my most favorite hike at the airport was when I was a few years old. And they would come by my parents' house in Lower Hells Gate, and I would take them to the sulfur mine and give them a tour inside the sulfur mine when I was 14 years old.
Wow, that's a long time of hiking. That's why you are in such great shape. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at that tree, the roots, how...
Oh my goodness. So cool.
Very cool, right?
They're like, where'd the soil go?
Don't worry, Cheryl. I have a question. Got Alaska about 10 years ago. And so I put my expertise together and told the Marine Park manager I'll do the same thing, put log steps up there. People with a railing on it, and I did it. First I treated law, you can't use no wood from here because there's so many ants and termites. So So I had Marines and community service guys to carry up these logs.
Wow.
So the steps up above are made.
One probably weighing about 130 pounds.
Oh, I bet.
Wow.
Yeah, 2 Marines was carrying it.
Cheryl could have taken it.
And they got so tired they dumped it upside down there.
Oh.
They finished carrying it. That's why it's...
Oh, here's the log steps he was talking about. Oh, this is pretty cool.
All these steps with the Marines.
With the Marines. So this is what he learned to do in Alaska, was building steps with logs. That's pretty cool.
Quite a few loose rocks.
So James, can you tell us how this ravine got carved out?
In the 1950s, there were 2 severe flooding hurricanes with flooding rains. And one was named Dana and one was named the Alice flood. And my uncles tell me that this gut was carved out 20 to maybe 30 feet more deeper than it was.
Wow.
If you take a video up there, you see how high this is. The water was compared to the next side probably. And they carved out this ravine deeper than what it was.
That was quite the flood. It's a beautiful area now that is carved out, but...
All these rocks that you see here on the side, all these rocks have been brought with a flood.
Oh, washed down.
And washed down and up there on the hillside. That's quite a power of nature.
Yeah. Don't mess with Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Mary's Point Trail, the stairway to heaven. and we're taking you there. Okay, yeah, just a little bit at a time. So I read something about what you guys are here for, this project. Can you share with me like what it's all about?
Well, so we came here to see if it would be possible to hold some roller ski races here, and yeah, it's
roller ski. Instead of like snow ski, it would be like a roller ski?
It's how we train for snow skiing when there is no snow.
Ah.
So they're a little bit longer, and they have wheels on each side, so they're a little longer than a rollerblade.
Okay.
And you can classic ski or you can skate, and so we were testing out different routes around the island to see where you could do it.
Interesting. I have a question. Does it have brakes on there, or how do you stop?
no brakes.
It's all up here.
No brakes.
No brakes.
No brakes. We didn't attempt to go downhill. So when we're training at home, if you're going to brake and if you're in a bad situation, you ditch into the side of the road.
Ah,
So
okay.
there are no brakes.
Interesting.
We go off the side of the road here. We get over.
No, that's right. Yes, they're on the road. That's awesome. Well, best of luck to you guys, and thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, we had a tremendous experience here.
Yeah.
Do you know when you'll start? Do you have a plan yet when you would start such an event?
Potentially as early as next
Winter?
April, May, June.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
And where are you originally from?
I'm from New Hampshire.
I'm originally from Wisconsin, but I've lived in Maine for the past 26 years.
Ah, nice. I'm going up to Maine this summer. This is the view from the viewpoint looking down at Wells Bay. There's the road going down, the homes. So gorgeous. So there's the truck. That's where we started from. You can barely see the truck down there. And here we are, all the way up here on this viewpoint of Wells Bay. Look at this spectacular view. Torrance Point. Yeah. So yesterday we were snorkeling and we went right through that cave, Torrance Point Cave. Look at this amazing view from the viewpoint on Mary's Point. Just beautiful. James, can you tell us a little bit about this? What's on here?
This was about piracy that went on along Mary's Point. 1820s. You read all about the piracy. All this does here. I can read about the piracy that went on here.
You see smuggling, laundering, and piracy.
Yeah, piracy, and then remodeling the ships and selling them back to other islands.
So this is where they would come up?
No, the ships was outside the Torrance Point.
Outside the Torrance Point.
With the piracy. Actually, my ancestors tell me that pirate ships are sunk over there by the Shark Shoal area.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And one was spotted during bringing a case on when they were in the harbour, main harbour at the time. Before that one was spotted by a local diver by the name of Glenn Seelig, and a Dutch diver that was working for the company building the harbour. The one was spotted during the search when they were looking for the case on. But it went beyond depth that they couldn't reach it, and during that dive they saw a pirate ship with the sand over there. And it was mostly of the ship was covered in sand, but you could count the cannon barrels on the side of the ship.
Whoa.
And actually I found a cannonball when they were excavating the road at the Wells Bay. Up on almost on the beach. It was up on the hillside, like 4 feet under the ground. I saw this half round object there, and I got it out with a long stick. And the cannonball about 10 pounds. Last year I actually donated to Saba Art, so that's going to go there and see the cannonball that I found at Wells Bay. And probably was shot by a pirate ship outside Wellsby.
How interesting. A big piece of history.
Quite tasty.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that.
Taking a leaf from. We call it the local name cinnamon tree, and you'll find it all over in the lower elevations in the dry forest area. And has a smell like cinnamon. We call it the cinnamon tree. The British Islands, they call it the bay leaf tree. They used to make a bay rum and St. Kitts many years back.
Interesting.
Makes a nice tea.
James, why is this called Mary's Point?
Area just below us is a pretty level area down below. There where Mary and her family live.
Ah.
And as soon as you come up here, you meet Mary right at the point. Or why did you give it the name Mary's Point? But it used to be called, the first name was called Palmetto's Point. Now when this area was cleared first, when people started to settle here, there was a grassy meadow area. That's why they named it Palmetto's Point.
Right down there.
Actually, Mary great-grandson visited Saba a few years back, and I took him up here and showed him where his great-grandmother lived.
Oh, wow.
And when he went down and he got in the taxi, Eddie Peterson taxi, actually tears was coming from his eyes to see where his great ancestors live.
Oh, that's so special. Good for him. That's wonderful. Okay. So this is Jane Ann's cistern. So this is the first cistern and the first settlement in Saba. Always heard about Jane Ann. Early Mary's Point. This is Saba's first settlement. Why settle here? Mary's Point provided its residents with access to the sea for fishing. As a village to service boats at Anchor and Wells Bay, and lands northeast of the village could be cultivated with terracing. Some of the lands surrounding the village of Mary's Point were formerly part of an indigo plantation. The well. So this is the mouth of a well?
Mouth of the original well that people had to collect their water. When there were droughts at Mary's Point, they had to come down here and collect their water. Take that water up to Mary's Point to wash and cook and whatever.
Wow, all the way up to where we're going.
Yeah.
Wow, that was hard work, right? It wasn't coming down here to picnic, it was coming down here to get water for survival.
7 gallons of water. Actually, they carried water into the strongest guys into tubs.
Whoa.
Probably 7 gallons of water.
Wow.
Because why I'm seeing tubs on the back of Torrance Point there. There's a bay called Cave of Rum Bay.
Cave of Rum.
Why they call it Cave of Rum Bay? When it was in the summer like now with the beach in, they would go with our rowboats from Mary's Point with families and go like there picnicking and fishing and welcome whatever, and they discovered 5-7 wooden barrels of rum. In the cave. And that's why it's carrying the name Cave of Rum Bay. It was smuggling of rum from the sugarcane factory in St. Kitts. One car was so we put it there, and the next one come and pick it up and take it whatever is going to the destination.
And that's where Cave of Rum got its name from.
Yes.
I have camped out down there as well. Didn't find any
that's
rum.
The biggest beach on the island.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the Wells Bay.
It's beautiful.
Sure it is.
Wells Bay was used in indigo production, and 2 indigo vats were attached to it. And that's the well we saw, right, James?
Yes, that's the well that I pointed out.
Right. How interesting. James?
Well, house foundations is on Mary's Point, where they moved the houses and took them to the bottom area called Promissan that he rebuilt back, and took them Hell's Gate and rebuilt back the homes. And when you hike in the village Mary's Point, you see like that nice cut stone up there. That's the kitchen area for every house on Mary's Point, outside kitchen.
And how many houses were there?
There were 10 families. About 10 houses, yeah, and we have like 2-3 families share the cistern. There's 2 and 3 families share the cistern. That's why when there was drought, you had to go down to bring the water up from the well, up on Mary's Point to cook and bathe. And you wash their clothes down there at the well, and you dry them in the sun, and then bring them the clothes.
Then your clothes would have been dirty.
And on the west side of the island, this is the only place that you could enter the island, the calm side.
Oh.
So that's why there was a pirate nest in 1628-29. And that's why the families in St. Kitts and Barbados and different islands decided to stop the piracy, and they moved in here with the families in 1665. That they went and picked up the families and brought them here, and they stopped the piracy.
And they settled this high up for safety,
This
is
high
what
up
you
for
said,
safety, yeah.
right?
All the first settlers used the highest points on Saba. You'll find
Made sense.
people live, like for instance Parish Hill. You'll see cisterns and house places up there that people lived in there. All the people choose the highest points. In case the island was invaded, you see them coming. Saba was a perfect island for piracy because it's like a great wall around Saba. It's a cliff around the island. And the only place that you could enter was here at the Wells Bay Beach or probably by Cove Bay, but very seldom you could do that.
A cistern where we collect rainwater. Like that was a cistern down there that you saw. So the cisterns to this day, you still build cisterns.
People passed away, died.
Yeah.
That family was buried in the backyard. Which has a grave site right here where probably from the erosion they got it more or less covered, but you can see a circle of rocks, like 4 people buried here. And a lot of people don't know this. You can easily tell wherever in Saba is a grave site where the sunrise is. You gotta look for the headstone. There's a headstone there. And the sunrise is up there, and many people don't know that. If you look after all the graves in Saba and you look for the stone, the headstone, you know where the sunrise is.
So the sunrise is up that way. That's very
That's
cool.
very
So
interesting.
it faces the sun.
Yeah.
The sun.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very
It's a tradition. It goes back from Mary's Point that people was buried with a headstone facing sunrise.
Interesting.
This wall here is actually Griffin Johnson ancestors lived on top here.
Ah, yeah?
On his father's side, Morton and Henry and his great-grandfather lived on top of here.
Right on top here. Oh, wow.
And I learned this from Leonidas, who showed me this up here. Carl Sagers, actually I came up here with Carl Sagers and showed me each plot where people live, the
And who
names
it
of the
was.
family.
Wow.
I think it'd be a great idea to put a plaque on each family, like a family tree, to each foundation that everybody that hike up here would read about the family, where exactly they live.
I agree with you. I think that would be awesome.
It would be great to do that.
Yeah. We'll put it in the suggestion box.
Right.
Like the flat house places. The trees, the tree root has created natural steps.
Yeah, sure is.
That is really nice.
Thank you, tree.
Yeah. And maybe I should turn off my video before I trip over these roots.
Yeah, here we are at another cemetery. And these are family from Dudley Sagers and Rudy Sagers and the rest of the family.
Wow.
The family here won. They did, just probably about 30 years ago, they did 2 crosses here. This one is named Ulrika Sagers.
Oh, yeah.
And the next one to it is Oswald Sager. But what happened is the rebar was probably too close to the concrete.
Oh.
So the concrete broke away, and that's why you have that iron pin there.
Oh,
With
wow.
the ancestors living on top of here. The Sagers,
Oh, yeah.
Dudley and Rudy Sagers.
How interesting. So my sister Rose is married to Chester Sagers. So here's where his ancestors came from. I know Chester's been up here.
Yeah. And actually, this is families of Chester and Dudley and Rudy Sagers. These are the family here, and they lived on this foundation here. And there's a cistern over there. I'll take you over to the cistern to see
Oh, wow.
where the cistern is. And actually, this photo is taken right here. Because if you look
the
between
hill.
the trees, you see that same hill. The woman probably was standing right in that position that you see the hill in the back there.
Right.
It's called the Whalehead. It's called the Great Hill. That's the hill in the back there. Anyway, the photo was right there.
How interesting. Now there's a big tree. You can't see the hill so good, but very. this cistern because she was just asking what a cistern was.
Yeah, and this is the cistern that belonged to the family of Chester, Seger, Rudy, and Hilton, and that family.
The Segers.
The Segers, yeah.
Wow.
And it's a quite deep cistern.
Oh, yes, it is.
Well, in those days, living up here, 10 families, 75 people, water was like a gold mine.
Yeah.
And it was a survival every day on a daily basis. My mother was to tell me, Uncle William James and Dudley, and my mother was to tell me, it was like no money in those days to pay bills. A concern of paying bills at the one end. It was a concern of surviving every day, living.
Yeah.
And they lived for over 300 years up here, independent on their own.
Wow. And you're right, it was only about survival.
Survival, yeah.
Can you explain to Donna what a cistern is?
As a cistern that collects, the way how they built it, all the cisterns in those days were built with the arch. It's a round on top. You can see it here, you can see the end of the cistern over there?
Yes.
The water will catch on both sides. They had a piece of copper or a piece of leather, they had holes in it. And they had to go like on a daily basis and clear it, that leaves don't go in and block the water from coming in. And also they had wooden spouts that come from the roof of the house to the cistern. They collected like 3 different ways.
So what, you would put a bucket down there
Yeah,
to
bucket,
get the water?
Yeah, and the bucket was tied to this.
Oh, cool.
Up here. And they also had a cover. You can see the thumbs of the cover. It's quite amazing how people survive up here in a remote place like this.
I would not drink anything that came out of there.
So Donna, when I came along, we had a cistern just like this.
Really?
My parents' house is cisterns, and outside we had a bucket tied right there. But we did have plumbing, so the water was going into the house then. But we caught it through gutters on our roof. But yes.
Up to like 50 years, there was like 3 cisterns that had water in it. Like 2 feet of water.
Wow.
And I moved from Hell's Gate Village to the bottom. That I got married and lived in the bottom. Started living there for 21 years. So about 50 years ago, there were water in these cisterns. But the roots from the trees found out the water, and they made the cracks bigger, and all the water drained out.
All right.
But one time I was coming hunting from way in the back there, what they call this area called Smoky Gut and Young Grunt Ridge or whatever, and areas back there. And I ran out of water, and I was so exhausted and tired. I actually took my bottle and tied it to a stick and run it down, put it down with the water and filled it and drank it.
Wow.
It made me stronger.
That's survival.
Survival.
Was the water cleaner before?
This area and on top there also, it's probably also.
And Glenda.
Yeah, the family there.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Let me take it back for Glenda. Yeah, beautiful view. And the trees, I'm sure, are all grown up now. And
We need to continue this history. Don't leave it die.
no, never.
That tree.
Yeah, that one.
Donna feels that they did not have Instapots in their
think
kitchen
that's
back then. Is that what you said?
Dark brown. You gotta come and see come this side and see.
And this, she says, like one of the hardest woods.
I think, yeah, that they would build the 4x4 and the 6x6 posts. The structure of the house would build from wood called frosty. And this is a piece that's left here on the ground. I guess when they remove the houses, this is a piece left here. You can hear how hard that wood is.
Wow.
Frosty. And the boards were pitch pine in those days.
Pitch pine, oh yeah.
And I think that since in
Where
1934.
did that wood come from?
Suriname, I think. I'm not sure.
Oh, I thought it came from one of these
No, this
trees.
is the bee leaf, cinnamon.
Okay.
Frosty.
Very cool.
Yeah. I guess in here was a compost of Mary's Point that they were very conservative. They buried the cups, saucers, broken cup saucers, dishes, whatever, and they were made from porcelain in China.
Oh,
and there
wow.
was a pit here the archaeologists dug out here, and you go by the museum, Saba Ark, and you see that they put plates together and bowls together that was dug from here.
Taken out from here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And they had a bottle in those days called a demijohn. It was a big bottle, and actually they put straw around it. And I have one that's still from Mary's Point. I have at home in the house.
Wow. Yeah, I know the demijohn.
John, yeah.
Standing on right now.
I'm standing on his grave. There was
The
a
Catholic
The
priest?
Catholic priest will come up here and preach. You know, they have service on Sundays, whatever. And apparently, my uncles and my mother would tell me that a priest told everybody on Mary's Point that the war was soon coming to an end. So many of my ancestors who was alive still can tell you that they start eating every butchering the pig, the goat, the sheep, and they
Oh,
and
no.
they're thinking that the war is coming to the end. But then we still here,
Yeah.
and they almost perished. They almost wiped out every animal they had on Mary's Point.
Oh my gosh, because they were afraid the war was coming to an
The priest was
end.
taken sick, and he passed up here, and there's his tomb mama standing on here.
Do you know what the priest's name was by any chance? No.
Apparently
Okay.
there was a plaque there, but somebody tried to
Oh,
take it
yeah.
away, but there was something there written.
Yeah.
Like a piece of slate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the name. Oh, quite interesting. So, James, that sign says no access beyond this point. Why?
Hikers can come up here and explore Mary's Point, but don't go beyond that point because it connects to North Coast Trail, and we recommend to do the North Coast Trail with a guide.
With a
so
guide.
Don't go beyond that point. And the last historical place is next to the sign, to the left sign,
Gotcha.
left of the sign. So
Note to all hikers.
That looks like just a bottle.
to all hikers.
Yeah.
No access
No
beyond
access
the point.
beyond this point. So this is where Pearl, Tidbits of Village Life by former resident Pearl Sagers. So Pearl Sagers actually lived up here.
Yes, on top of that wall there.
Oh, wow, right there. And her house was taken to Hell's Gate,
That's good. Yeah, that house that
where she
lived in
lived.
and had a small shop in the back.
Right?
There. That's her house. And it's
That's
still
her
there.
house, yeah.
Although it's being renovated, but it's still there.
So Pearl Sagers is my children's like great aunt, Glenda's aunt, and here is a tidbit of their history. Super cool. The family picture.
People who lived on Mary's Point, they lived by the sunrise and the sunset. It was not like our days that we have so much luxury, internet and TVs and cell phones. They didn't know anything about that. That's the way how they survived,
Yeah.
the sunrise, the sunset.
They woke up and worked when the sun came up, and they went to bed when the sun went
Right,
down.
that's right.
Yeah, all about survival.
Survival, yeah.
Yeah.
And here I'm sitting again with part of the ruins of a kitchen area. And this area, actually, the Helligas live, like Alice Helliga, Sylvanus Helliga, Gia Helliga, those families.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that families came here, live in this area here. So
And this area, how cool. Now I can piece this together with all the families.
yeah, well, actually, the official opening of the Mary's Point Trail after we're done with the log steps, it was with the commissions at that time, and Everton Helliga and was actually sitting here with our name. Well,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Good for him.
yeah.
Of these steps, you need long legs and like
Yeah.
to jump.
I don't have that.
Here comes
No.
Shorty.
Here comes Shorty. Be careful.
Right leg here, left, yeah.
But it's pretty cool that these rocks are steps, right?
Shelf there. I hold my breath and I go right down to the bottom of so and there's a room inside there. Come up in a room inside there and think that it's pretty. You're looking out after the background.
It's like a little hole about this big to get into it.
You dive on a shelf. You come up in the hole. You come up in that room inside there, and you look behind you. There's two holes, and you can snorkel out through there so long as you're in a current. Like you better make sure and hold a deep breath.
I would be too scared to do that on my own.
Yeah, I would not.
I did it twice. I like.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, and here's a goat coming down.
What's that?
A goat. James, is this one of yours? He's right behind us.
Really?
So this is a pretty steep spot here. Be careful, Donna.
Yeah, just hanging out rope.
Look at that amazing view over there. But yeah. it looks like fall instead of spring and the mountain, because look at all the leaves that have fallen. This is such a lovely hike. I'm only into it like 15 minutes, so ask me in a while. We are almost up to the Mascahorn Trail, and where the mountain road meets the path for the mountain. See? And 15 minutes, the opening is where you go up to Mascahorn. And it's so pretty. I've seen so many pretty trees already. It's very shaded, very cool. And from Windward Side to the Mascahorn Trail, it's only like a 15-minute walk. And I stopped to talk to 3 people who had done the 10K this morning. Good for them. So I just came up from Windward Side that way. This is Mascahorn's Hill. I did that already. Sophie, where are we going?
The Mascahorn Hill.
Perfect. So after a very short, like 10-minute hike from the mountain road, here is this view on Mascahorn's Hill, right from the top of Mascahorn's. Sophie, that was a good little hike, right?
Yes.
It was short, but look at this reward. Just beautiful. Little spot like to get out to the rain or something, right? And I like this tree, the way it's fallen down and everything has grown over it. You can hear the birds. So quiet. Hi, Soph. Hey, Soph. Hey, Sophie Grace.
Hi.
What you doing down there?
Ballerina stuff.
So this is our national flower. This is the black-eyed Susan. Also along the path are potatoes. I recognize these because my dad was a farmer and he planted potatoes.
A little bit more sharp. Huh?
Yeah, and colorful.
Yeah.
Hello.
You can see all the way down to the Fort Bay. Wow, what a spectacular view. There is the bottom, and you can see Paris Hill. And we are almost at the top. There is St. John's. That's St. John's. You can even see the seaweed over there. The black-eyed Susan, wild heliconias, all the way up to the top. I remember this big rock when I used to climb, and I know I'm almost up. There's bananas almost at the top of the mountain. Already a spectacular view, and we're not even at the top. There is Paris Hill, the Whale Hill. Such a good view from up here.
The bird in the net, and then up at the top we have more nets, and then we have a station up there where we process the birds.
Okay.
So we put them in a bag and leave them there to try to collect a fecal sample from them.
Okay.
Because we want to see what fruits they're eating.
Oh yeah.
And then up at the station, we have a guy who's taking measurements of the beak and how much do they weigh and stuff like that.
And you do it from Saba or another country?
We're from the University of Copenhagen.
Oh, Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Okay, wat grappig.
So we've been doing the project all across the Lesser Antilles.
Yeah.
And this is our last stop in Saba.
And you stay in a tent here?
No.
Oh.
We stay at El Momo's.
Okay, I thought you were
No,
in a tent.
it's because we have this big bag to carry all the nets. We have a chair and a table. And
Okay, already.
so we bring up all the equipment each day and then down and eat up again.
And how long do you stay here for this?
We need to put up the nets for 5 days.
Okay.
So this is our 3rd day today.
Yeah.
We'll come back tomorrow and Monday as well.
Yeah. And you are not going by night?
We're going very early in the morning.
Because
We need to open the nets at sunrise.
Yeah.
When the birds wake up and then.
Yeah, so we open them as soon as the bats go to sleep.
Yeah.
And then that's when the birds are most active.
Because you don't want the bats in the nest.
Yeah. And then we close here. Today we close a bit early because no birds for some reason.
Oh,
We
we heard
have
them.
some up there, but
Yeah, not as much as usually.
no.
Special species here or?
So we have caught a lot of banana quits. Do you know the species? We've had like 5 or 6 different ones,
Okay.
but definitely not that many different.
I don't know the birds here on Bonaire, but we live on Bonaire, and there we have the troupial and breast.
Yeah.
But I don't know
Yeah,
what.
the birds are probably quite different from
Yeah, I
Bonaire.
guess. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. You have a nice day.
Yeah, you too. You.
So here is some fresh fruit. Some fresh raspberries. Delicious. Here's a raspberry tree. Yummy, yummy. And it came in handy at the end of this hike. So we got to the top and then we went down, kind of like in the crater something. And now we're going up to the very top. Going up to the very top. It's a little bit wet, slippery, very steep. But there's guardrails, so these are really handy. So these are the last few stairs to the top. Yay, yay, yay. And I hiked Mount Scenery. Evidence that I'm at the top. If I can do it, you can do it. So we made it to the top. And although we can't see, it's an accomplishment, right? Just reaching up here. So. So we're at the top. Of course, it's beautiful, even though it's cloudy, but we're hoping for the clouds to pass so that we can see below, because Windward Side should be down there. St. John should be over there. So now it's a little game of being patient. I see St. John's. I just saw them.
Process them with this little jelly here.
Yeah.
And it basically, what it does is it collects any pollen that it has on its bill, its forehead. Sometimes they have things to say about it. And on the underthroat.
Ah,
I think I get some food.
You collect some pollen now, yeah.
Yeah, so then any pollen that he had to gets stuck on this thing.
I understand.
And then we process that back home when we get back. And we use the pollen for this guy.
And you know all these birds, so you know this is a bird.
Is that a thrush?
Yeah, this is a pearly-eyed thrasher.
Yes, it's really biting. Look.
So then I mark it by, please let go. Please, thank you. So I clip the tip of the second primary feather so that if we catch it again, we know that this guy has
You
already
don't
been
have to-
processed.
Oh, that's very smart. Otherwise
You know, we noticed that there's one bird
he's coming back.
that we think learned the system because we give them a little bit of sugar water as a little energy. And I think she figured out the system because between yesterday and today we've caught her 6 times.
Oh my goodness, that's funny.
So now whenever she sees me get the little tube, she automatically just goes like this. You know.
Funny.
So we're pretty sure that she figured out the system.
You've made a friend.
Yeah. So then we take the length of the bill, which is 3860 Emily. The width of the bill, which is 1467, and then the length of the tarsus. And each of these metrics is associated with specific hypothesis that we want to test. We look at the length of the bill to see if they're able to pollinate flowers, because we then have traits on the length of the flower. So then with the length of the bill, we can also match that to the length of the flower and see whether or not they can match each other. With the width of the bill, we can match that to the size of the fruits that are around here. So we were measuring fruits earlier, and based on those measurements, we can match those to the width of the bill, and then we can say, okay, they're potentially consuming X, Y, Z types of fruits. And then the tarsus, which is this one, is just a metric of size for the species. 3845 for the tarsus. So the second to last thing that we do is collect a blood sample.
Okay.
And we do that to look at genetic relationships between all of the islands. I don't know if my colleague told you, but we have been traveling across the Antilles. So we started in Trinidad and Tobago, and we have sort of been jumping around islands for the last couple of months.
Okay, well.
And the idea then is to look at genetic relationships between species in the islands and how they colonize the islands. So based on genetic information, we can sort of build history of how they got to the islands and how long ago they got to the islands.
And what island? Also, only the northern island from the Caribbean here then?
Only the Lesser Antilles.
Can you actually see blood petals?
1 second. So we do that by, you can come over.
Or is it in the origin of a feather or something?
No, it's there's a vein called the ulnar vein.
Oh wow! You could be a doctor.
And all birds have the vein in the same place. And then I just isolate it, and with the needle I just pierce it.
Oh, wow.
So it's called the ulnar vein because this bone that comes from here on the wing is called the ulnar bone.
Okay.
So that vein is always there.
The ulnar bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ulnar bone. Yeah, we have them.
So then I hold him for a little while it closes, and then he gets his little treat. Yeah, this is a little bit of sugar, which is more interested in biting it right now. But then he starts drinking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're well prepared.
Yeah, we're ready for them.
Yes.
The last thing that we do is take the weight on him or her. I cannot sex the species.
And do you give them a name?
Not really. No. They just get a code. What's the code?
Maybe it looks so cozy, so
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
this was Charlie, my Charlie.
It's a 3 and 5.
Yeah, that is his code.
That's his name.
You're still special. You're still special, but it doesn't get a full name.
It's almost like a social security number.
Yeah, exactly. So then we put him in this little tube here just to keep him mobilized for the time being. and then we take the weight.
You're very experienced.
Yeah, you did it a few times more.
I've done it one or
How
twice.
many?
Yeah.
How many?
I don't know for here, but 118.26.
Wow.
That was the weight.
Oh, he's gone.
then he's
And
gone.
then he's gone. I should have held it for you guys to see it better. But we can look at the other one if you're interested. I don't know how many we've done so far.
Probably close to 1,000.
Yeah, I don't know really. We have had days that are as crazy as 100 birds in a day. And as low as 5 birds in a
And
day.
then you do every bird you are catching, you do, even if it's going to be dark. And because you have a lot of birds and you have to do this every.
Yeah, we are open from.
So here is this bridge path that I've been seeing onto social media. I was wondering where it was. What a good idea, because this path used to be really muddy and hard to walk. And there's even like a fish wire, chicken wire on top of the wood, so you have really good grip when you're walking. Because this used to get really muddy over here. You feel it? So this is truly the highest peak of the Dutch Kingdom now. Here we go. Wow. From sea to clouds. The clouds are clearing just a little bit. You can see them going by. But this is truly now the top of the top. So here I am at the highest point of the Kingdom of the Netherlands. I've been up here many times before when I was younger, but I haven't been in over 20 years. And it was a dream to come again. So here I am, and I thank you guys so much for allowing me to walk with you. Woohoo! She did it! We did it! Yay! Clouds move so fast. This piping was such a good idea. It makes it so much easier, especially for people like me. Thank you for putting this pipe up here. So this is coming down in the crater. You go down and you go back up, and then you head back down the path. And here's some more raspberries. What goes up must come down. And now we are heading back down, and the sun is out and the cloud is gone, but we missed our opportunity at the top. So follow us downhill. It's all downhill now.
Has a purpose, eh?
Yeah, so that just collects water for the birds.
Look inside. Maybe for the birds or for the plants. Also for the birds, yeah.
Yeah, so when it's dry,
Then they have some reserve.
yeah, it's like their little cistern.
Yeah, nice. Eh? And everything.
Yeah. Wow, there's so many. It's beautiful. He fell down.
Yeah.
Then he found his own way up to the light. This is like a walk through the jungle now between Bud's Mountain and the Crispine Trail. It's totally different. It's beautiful, shaded. It's like a little jungle. So unusual. Looks like a staghorn attached to this massive tree. And then it changes from jungle, and now we're out in the open, and this is sugarcane, I think so. And now it's sunny over here. Here's an old cistern. This is the Bud Mountain Trail. That's a citrus tree. Maybe cinnamon or not. Listen to the wind into the sugarcane. And the vegetation keeps changing. The ground is much drier as we go down. There's some dry branches. Oh, look at this narrow pathway. This is from the top. We took Bud's Mountain down. It's a lot easier on the knees because it's not just steps, it's a pathway. It's cool under the trees. So I'm happy we came down this way. Yeah. So we're on the right track. So that's Bud's Mountain, and that is Crispine, and there is St. John's. But we are heading on this trail back to Rendezvous and down to Windward Side. Yeah, this house was building back in the day when I was here, but there's the Eco Lodge. I smell food. And this means we're almost down, and now the cloud is gone from the mountain. So this is where we started, and we're back, and now we're heading to Windward Side, all downhill from here. Only about 5 steps to go. Yay, yay, yay. So I just got back from hiking to the top of the mountain, and it was not clear. We couldn't see anything. We waited for an hour and we couldn't see anything, and we come down and now it's all super clear. But hey, the challenge was making it to the top, and it was gorgeous. Now it's going to open up to the view. huge. Narrow pathway, right? It's there's the bird. That's Saba's national bird. I call it a white bird, but the proper name is red-beaked tropical bird. Yeah, I see it everywhere. This pathway is for skinny people, for sure. Look how narrow this is. So you can see the path is nicely marked. There's different areas. That's the runway right there. And we are following this path to the other side. Look at this view. Oh yeah.
See them there?
Yes, yes. We can see the sea urchins from a distance.
And many times they also are sitting like in a wall.
Right.
When you
Yeah.
see
They're camouflaged. Very rugged coastline. You can see it's so volcanic. Everywhere looks like this. But what an amazing view. And we can see Stacia in the distance. Geesey, you are on top of the world! Woo! You go, girl! Yeah. How cool was that? A view of Winnie taking off from the tide pools. Woohoo! Another check on my list. I've been wanting to come to the tide pools so that I could see Winnie taking off. And we only have a few flights today, so we had to time this right. And I'm super happy that Geesey came hiking with me. Yay! Woohoo! So we did two trails. We went down and we followed this one right past there, all the way down to the ponds. We came back, we went to this one. Then we went over the top, we went to the ponds down in there. And now this is a nice clear path. We came up a different direction and we're taking this path back. It's not a lot of hiking, it's very little hiking, but there's a lot of climbing. But the rocks are really rugged and you have good good grip on your feet, and it's an amazing view. You need to come when the plane is leaving. So now we are heading back towards the airport, and you can see the mountain getting closer, and you can see it's an easy hike here. The trail is really, really clear. The only challenge is when you get below, it's more climbing. So the pathway brings you to this split in the road. We went left and we went all the way around. We made a circle, we climbed back up the rocks, and we came out through this part. It's a really easy walk. The hike is very clean and clear, but when you get to the bottom, there's a lot of climbing on the rocks, so be prepared. People on TikTok say, wait for it, wait for it. Beautiful.